How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. I'm on this channel to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading when the price is going up or down. Ledger adds PayPal on-ramp for Bitcoin Ethereum purchases, as well as some other coins. Ledger Wallet, you can now use PayPal. These acquisitions will be transferred to your Ledger Wallet right away. You can get Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. It eliminates a lot of the steps, and much like the MetaMask integration that we just saw for Banxa, PayPal, if you've already done a crypto transaction and done your verification with them, you won't have to do it again on Ledger Live. So this is more streamlining the verification process and getting a more central group of people to do the KYC. So this is good because it'll help with adoption and help crypto be more mainstream and easier to use. Coinbase lands regulatory approval to offer crypto futures trading in US. So Coinbase Financial Markets Inc. announced that Wednesday has secured approvals from both the NFA and CFTC. This means that the firm can now operate as a futures commission merchant, and therefore they are able to offer investments in crypto futures to eligible customers in the US. I urge you to join a waitlist if you want early access. So if you want to get in, you should do that, but this is good because this is Coinbase getting regulatory approval for crypto licensing and custody, so this could help them in the future with being more not targeted by the SEC. Prosecutors aim to use Caroline Ellison's personal notes as evidence against SBF. So they say she has evidence against him in the criminal trial, and that they intend to use this evidence to show his conspiracy activities. The government intends to offer into evidence certain handwritten and typed notes that Ellison maintained to keep track of the conspiracy's activities. For example, she took notes at meetings with her co-conspirators, which they discussed, among other things, the financial of Alameda and its liabilities to FTX. The prosecutors point out specifically to a list titled Things Sam is Freaking Out About, which summarizes various aspects of SBF's business concerns, including fundraising activities, trading hedges, as well as negative press surrounding the connection between Alameda and FTX. These notes, the prosecution argues, are not indismissible hearsay, as the former Alameda CEO took them to memorize information supplied to her and provide a reference to help her carry out her role in the conspiracy. So onto the charts. I drew out this support resistance area for us. We've gotten pretty close to it a couple times recently, so there's a visual for you. Our RSI and stochastic are starting to fall on our total market cap. This is everything besides Bitcoin and Ethereum. Our money flow is starting to come out, getting close to that neutral, so if we flip into that bearish territory, we will have a bearish trend starting. VWAP is falling into the bearish territory, and our momentum is falling with it, so keep an eye, as if this continues, we could break this support and break away from this pattern, so this could not end up being like a freak break up, and then we possibly make a bounce to break up away again if this ends up being a rejection here. If we reject away from the pattern, this won't just be like a freak breakout that we corrected because we had a gap. It could be something more. Over on Bitcoin dominance, we are staying kind of steady from yesterday. We are trying to make a bounce off this support, but we've hit this support a few times. At this point, we pretty much filled that gap. So if we don't gain some strong momentum tomorrow, it's likely we're going to come back down. RSI is starting to curl off. Stochastic is again a bearish cross. Our VWAP is in the bullish territory trying to push up. So that's trying to push our momentum up. But our money flow is overall coming out still. So with the money coming out, the dominance isn't really getting much stronger. That money flow is going to need to continue this reversal and get some strength in. Over on futures, we are having a gap down, so we could end up coming back up, filling that gap, and then possibly rejecting away afterwards. We'll have to kind of watch for that. RSI is starting to push, our stochastic is starting to push, that money flow is rejecting away from neutral, VWAP is pushing away, and our momentum is coming down as a result. So overall, we have more bearish action than bullish here on our futures, so we could see further downside. We could fill this gap later, however, it is likely we would fill it sooner. But just keep in mind, we do have 2 other gaps that we still have to fill that are older than this gap. So we could come down, fill this gap, come back up, fill this gap, take a breather, fill this gap. We'll have to see. Over on Bitcoin, we are starting to break away from our flag, so we are smashing down. You should smash the like, smash the subscribe, get into our channel, join the Discord. Not many of you have joined. We have like 1 member, but not too sure if they want to join or talk. So stochastic is falling, RSI is falling, our money flow is in the bearish territory. We are falling, VWAP is pushing down, our momentum is falling. So overall, we have more bearish action, and we are starting a bearish trend here. So this would be a confirmation of that manipulation X. Over on the 4 hour, you can see we dropped pretty strong. RSI is taking a sharp decline. Stochastic's pretty beat down. Our VWAP is taking a rejection. Money flow is starting to flip into that bearish territory. So we are setting up bearish momentum here on the 4 hour. If this continues, the daily is likely to weaken. Our momentum is pushing away. Doesn't really have much more lower it can go. So at some point, if we do continue to push down and get this full breakout and continue with our other breakout, we could just see this ride very flat. Over on the 2 hour, our RSI is falling. Stochastic has a bearish divergence that is bringing us down currently. Our money flow is rejecting away from neutral, so we are setting up a bearish trend here. And our VWAP is rejecting away as well, bringing our momentum down. So right here you can see that kind of ride out like I talked about how the 4 hour could do. Over on the 1 hour, we don't really have any gaps, so nothing too hopeful to bring us back up. Short term, momentum does want to try and round. Our VWAP is trying to push toward that neutral, but if our VWAP meets resistance here and rejects away, we could see another leg down. Money flow overall is trending out. Stochastic is falling very sharply, and our RSI is taking a nosedive as well. So overall, we have more bearish action than bullish, and everything's coming down pretty quickly. That could mean we could just get bounced off this support though, but we are also in the golden pocket where you have high manipulation, so keep that in mind as well. Over on graph for the daily, we are pushing down to our first range that we warned about the other day. Stochastic has a bearish divergence and is starting to push down. RSI is starting to push. Money flow is rejecting that neutral, and that VWAP is pushing down through that neutral pretty strongly, giving our momentum that red dot, and that is pushing down pretty sharp as well. If we don't get some green candles here soon, like maybe take a little drop, fill the rest of these wicks, get some green candles, then we could set up further downside, and our further support levels could be around this range back here, around that 5.6, about 5.8. So keep that range in mind. If we fall away, that's likely where we'll go. That is below our value area low, so we would have to break the value area low first, but it is very likely we could get down toward that value area low around that 7.8. Stochastic's pushing down from a bearish divergence. RSI is pushing down. That VWAP's pushing pretty strong, so we do have a lot of bearish indicators going. So we do have potential to see a pretty sharp decline. Over on the 4 hour here, our RSI is falling pretty sharply. Stochastic's starting to take another dive down. Our money flow did test that bearish territory, made a bounce, but the bounce isn't very strong. So if we roll over here, we could start a bearish trend. We did make a bounce back here, and made a new high, but this bounce being weak could suggest that the bullish momentum is subsiding. Our VWAP is struggling to get through that neutral and could curl away here. Our momentum is coming down pretty sharply. We are getting pretty low, almost as low as it can go. But like I said, you could see it just go flat for some time as well. Over on the 2 hour, our stochastic's getting a little bit of a push down, not quite as much as price though. We have bearish cross pushing us down, RSI is losing strength. Our money flow is struggling to get new highs and above this 6.7. So if we don't get that money flow to break and push up, then we could see a rejection from this area and push lower, and then we could set up more bearish trends. Our VWAP is flipping into the bearish territory, bringing our momentum back down, so our momentum's not having much luck pushing up currently. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic wants to make a bullish cross, RSI wants to make a bounce, our VWAP is trying to get a bit of a curl up here, as well as our money flow. The money flow is starting to come into some resistance. If we can break through it, we could hopefully see a bullish trend form. But if we stay in this bearish territory and get rejected by that resistance or cross over and then flop right over, then we could set up a new low and continue with bearish action. That VWAP is getting close to that neutral, wants to break through. If it manages to break through, we'll get that green dot to confirm, and we could see some bullish momentum. However, if we just flop over, kind of like back here, we could see another drop again. Over on Anchor on the daily, we are pushing well beyond. We're getting close to this range back here, so we are below our value area low. Pushing to the top of this support resistance range around that 2 cent and 1.8, so we could end up falling into there. Over on the 4 hour, we do have a Fibonacci level down here that we could get sucked down to if we don't meet this support here. That is near our other support level. RSI is overall falling, stochastic is starting to fall. That money flow is struggling to maintain strong bullish momentum, so we could break bearish here. That VWAP is flipping into the bearish territory, giving our momentum a red dot. So overall, we could see a push down, but we do also have a long lower shadow candle that could confirm. If that does confirm, that could suggest bullish momentum. However, the last one did not play out very well. Over on the 2 hours, stochastic's about to get a bearish cross and wants to take a bit of a dive. Our RSI is starting to lose strength, so that could set up some bearish momentum. We are about 35, so we do have bullish momentum. Got to bounce off that bullish zone, but if we are neutral zone, but if we roll over here, we could easily lose it again. VWAP is in the bearish territory, and money flow is maintaining a bearish trend as we're getting lower lows, and overall going down is very gradual, but we do have that trend going on. That momentum does have a bullish divergence, so that could help push us up, but when you get large moves down, you can see bullish indicators that won't play out. If you remember how the start of the bear market went, if you were around for it, then you would know you don't want to be fooled by that. You also get the same thing when you're running up. You can get bearish indicators and you can keep going up. So even though indicators will say, hey, you're going to fall, you could still have a bullish trend going for you. So that's why that money flow is important. Over on the 1 hour, our stochastic wants to make a bullish cross. RSI is kind of starting to curl off, so that RSI is starting to lose some strength. That VWAP is above that neutral, so it does have a bullish trend. It is giving our momentum a double green dot. We'll have to see if that can confirm. If it does confirm, we could see further push up, but we are going to need to get past this like 4 zone, which is right around where we're hanging up right now. If we don't get past that, we could meet resistance and fall away. So just watch out for that. Over on Algo, last but not least, for the daily, we are pushing our value area low. So that is not good. I don't know why Algo is scrolling weird. There we go. Stochastic is starting to push away. RSI is starting to push away. Our momentum is starting to push into that bearish territory. Our money flow is pushing away pretty strongly with our VWAP. So overall, we have bearish indicators. We also have this manipulation X that wants to bring us down. Sorry, I want to fix something real quick. Oh, it is forward. This looks a little more washed out than other coins. We are starting to get that push down through our value area low with that manipulation X, so that could signal we could have another trend down to this Fibonacci zone. Keep that in mind, that's about 911, so you might need some help. Over on the 4 hour, we are taking a pretty strong nosedive, so we could see some sort of a corrective move, as this isn't really a support resistance zone, at least for this local range. If we look back here, we have a couple candles that push there, and we have a really big candle wick that could take us down to about 9. But other than that, we don't really have much more precedent to be that low, as that was our lowest point ever. We did make a newer low back there. We are seeing a big long lower shadow candle here too. So if we get a green candle in the next 4 hours, we could get a push up and try to test this value area low. If we break that value area low, we could move toward the point of control. But if we get rejected at that point, then we could fill that other candle wick. Our money flow is starting to come out. RSI is starting to come out. Momentum's coming out. VWAP's struggling to push that neutral and could start to roll over here. That stochastic's pretty beat down, so overall everything's looking pretty bearish, and we could see a rejection. Over on the 2 hour, we are trying to get a little bit of a push up here on this candle, but overall we're trending out. Our stochastic has a bullish divergence, so this may be the play out of that, as we're in a bearish trend, and a bullish divergence isn't always going to moonshot you. Stochastic's pretty tight, so it could start to fall. Keep an eye on that, as our stochastic and RSI are right around that neutral zone, and that will give us bearish momentum. That VWAP is in the bearish territory, very weak, so if we manage to break through the neutral and push strong, we could start a bullish trend, but if this continues and tapers off, we could see further bearish action. That money flow is in the bearish territory, struggling to get past that 15, so if we do manage to curl up and come up here, we could see a little bit of bullish action. However, we start to taper back away and make a new low, we could set bearish trend. Our momentum is coming out with a red dot, so keep that in mind, as our VWAP's in the bearish territory, but our VWAP's not very strong in the bearish territory, so that red dot could easily get invalidated if that VWAP gets a push. Over on the 1 hour, we are trying to set up some sort of a rounding bottom. If we can get a strong green candle in the next candle or two, that would be ideal. Stochastic is trying to push up, has somewhat of an uptrend going on. RSI is trying to go up, but it's starting to curl out right around that 30, so watch out, as that could give us that bearish momentum. Our VWAP does want to push into the bullish territory. Our momentum really doesn't know what it wants to do, as neither does our VWAP. So if we get rejected by this 4 or 5 zone again, then we could see a further push down. Otherwise, if we manage to finally break through it, unlike we've done back here, we could see a push back up. That money flow is trying to curl up, so we could try to set up a bullish trend here, but we're going to had to make a new high and some higher highs and higher lows on this money flow as we trend out. Otherwise, if we start to get lower highs and lower lows continued, we could see further bearish action. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.